Have you ever gotten into bed, pulled up the covers, and just when you were ready to relax, your legs started to feel heavy? Maybe a dull ache in your calves, or a strange tingling in your feet. It's subtle at first. You try to ignore it. You tell yourself, I'm just getting older. But what if I told you? It might not be your age. It might be your dinner. I know. It sounds odd. Most of us were raised to believe that dinner is the time to wind down, enjoy something hearty, maybe even indulge a little. But after age 65, your body starts responding differently. Not just to stress, or sleep, or the weather, but to food. Especially the food you eat in the evening. If your legs feel swollen at night. If you wake up feeling stiff or sore. If your energy drops for no reason, and your sleep never quite feels deep anymore. There's a silent connection you might be missing, and no one talks about it. You see, I've worked with hundreds of older adults over the years, and again, I notice the same story. Aches and pains in the legs, slow kidney decline without warning, and dinners that seemed harmless. Frozen meals labeled light, vegetable soups that claim to be low fat, a slice of white bread here, a splash of sweet tea there, little habits that pile up like invisible weight on your body. Here's the truth. By the time we hit our 60s and 70s, the organs that once worked like machines start to tire. Your kidneys can't filter as quickly. Your blood vessels don't expand as easily. And what used to be a normal dinner now becomes a late-night workout for your body. And that shows up, not in your stomach, but in your legs, in your back, in the middle of the night when you wake up to use the bathroom, or can't fall asleep because of that subtle discomfort that doesn't go away. So let me ask you, do your legs feel heavier than they used to? Do you wake up more tired now than when you went to bed? Do you find yourself blaming your age for things you didn't question before? If any of that feels familiar, you're not alone, and you're not stuck. Because in this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 common dinner foods, yes, just 6, that could be quietly damaging your kidneys and affecting your legs. Foods you probably have in your pantry or fridge right now. Foods that don't look unhealthy, but hit your aging body like a punch when the sun goes down. Now before we dive in, let me be clear. This is not about fear. It's about facts and gentle choices that give your body peace. It's not about cutting out everything you love. It's about shifting when and how you eat them. Because one of the biggest things no one tells us as we age is this: timing is everything. What might be okay at lunch can become harmful at 8:30 p.m. A slice of cheese that once helped you relax might now be keeping you up. That little spoon of sauce you drizzle over your dinner. It could be inflaming the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys. But here's the hopeful part. This isn't permanent. These are changes you can start today. They don't require a big diet. They don't even mean giving up your favorite foods. They just mean understanding what your body truly needs now and giving it a break after a long day. If you've ever thought, I just wish I didn't wake up so sore, or I wish my legs felt lighter when I get out of bed, then this might be one of the most important conversations we have. So, do me a favor. If you recognize even a piece of what I'm saying, if you've felt the kind of leg pain that creeps in at night, or wondered why your kidneys seem tired even when the doctor says your numbers look okay, please leave a comment below. Just write, I feel this, or share what you've been experiencing. Because your story might help someone else feel seen too. And if you're ready to take control, not with pills, not with big changes, but with awareness, stay with me through this video. It's short, it's honest, and it's made just for people like you. Let's talk about what your body's been trying to tell you, and what small, loving steps you can take, starting tonight. Your legs will thank you, your kidneys will thank you, and most of all, your future self will thank you. Let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I met a kind woman named Judith, 76 years old, sharp as a tack, still driving, still volunteering at her church every Sunday. She prided herself on staying active, watching her diet, and avoiding junk food. Every evening, Judith followed what she believed was a responsible routine. A light frozen dinner, usually turkey and vegetables. a cup of low-fat yogurt. Sometimes, if she was feeling indulgent, a few saltine crackers with a slice of cheddar. She drank plenty of water, avoided desserts, and stayed away from soda. Yet night after night, Judith noticed her legs swelling. She'd wake up with a tight, aching feeling in her calves, and slowly her energy began to dip. She was frustrated and confused. "I thought I was doing everything right," she told me. "Why does it feel like my body's punishing me?" And that's when I realized Judith's story isn't unique. In fact, it's common, dangerously common. Here's the hidden truth that no one tells us. The meals we've been taught to call light or healthy can be the very ones doing the most harm, especially after age 65. I know that sounds backwards.
How could a bowl of soup be worse than a cheeseburger? How could crackers and fruit be more damaging than a slice of cake? It all comes down to what I call invisible load. Let me explain. As we age, our kidneys, the body's natural filters, start to slow down. They're still working, yes, but not with the same power they had at 30 or 40. Every bite we take, every drink we sip, passes through them.
And when you load them up with certain kinds of foods, especially the kind marketed as light, low-fat, or healthy, you may be giving them more work, not less. Let's go back to Judith's dinner. Her frozen meal. It contained over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Her crackers and cheese? Another 500. The yogurt she thought was healthy? It was fat-free, but full of added sugars and artificial sweeteners. Her dinner, designed to be small and clean, was a chemical cocktail of preservatives, sodium, and hidden sugars. And every night, her kidneys had to fight to clear it out. Meanwhile, her legs, already struggling with circulation, began to swell under the pressure, and her sleep, interrupted by frequent bathroom trips and aching joints. All of this, from food that was supposed to be better. The problem isn't just what we eat. It's the assumptions we make. We assume, if it says low fat, it's heart-friendly. If it says light, it must be gentle on the body. If it's a vegetable soup, it can't be harmful. But labels lie, marketing misleads, and most importantly, our bodies at 65, 70, 80 plus react differently than they did decades ago. Your body doesn't want less fat. It wants the right kind of fat. Fats that support your cells, reduce inflammation, and nourish your brain. Your kidneys don't want more water. They want less waste to process. Your legs don't want comfort food. They want blood flow and food that supports circulation, not fights it. It's hard to hear this, I know, because it means unlearning what we were taught. But here's the gift. Once you understand this truth, you gain the power to feel better without giving up the joy of food. Let's make it practical. If you've been told that low-fat dairy is better for your bones, you deserve to know that for many seniors, full-fat options, in moderation, are actually easier to digest and cause less blood sugar disruption. If you think frozen light dinners are saving you time, you deserve to know they may be quietly hurting your sleep and stressing your kidneys. If you've been sipping on fruit juice instead of soda, you deserve to know those natural sugars can still spike your blood sugar at night and inflame your legs. Now, I'm not telling you this to make you afraid. I'm telling you this because I care. Because I've seen the heartbreak of someone ending up on dialysis who never knew their healthy habits were part of the problem. And I've also seen the relief, the light in their eyes, when they learn the truth. Like Judith. Once she swapped her frozen meals for fresh soups she made on Sundays. Once she replaced her yogurt with a small bowl of chia pudding. Once she stopped eating after 7 p.m. to give her kidneys time to rest. Her legs stopped swelling. She slept better. Her energy returned. She didn't go on a diet. She didn't give up food. She just stopped trusting the box and started listening to her body. And you can do the same. So here's what I want you to know. You are not just getting old. You are changing. And change requires care, attention, and gentle adjustments. Your body isn't broken, it's just asking you to treat it differently. And that journey starts here, with awareness. In the next section, we're going to walk step by step through 6 common dinner habits that might be quietly making your nights harder and your mornings more painful, not to scare you, not to overwhelm you, but to guide you, to give you clarity where there was once confusion. Because once you see it, you can change it. And once you feel better, even for one day, you won't want to go back. Margaret is 74. She lives in Indiana in a small house with a rose garden in the front yard and a well-worn recliner by the window. She's a retired teacher, the kind of woman who still writes thank you cards by hand and keeps a jar of peppermint candies by the door. Margaret has always been careful. No fast food, no soda, never added salt to her meals. Her dinners were simple. A bowl of vegetable soup, a light frozen dinner, sometimes canned peaches. She thought she was doing everything right. But for months, Margaret noticed something strange. By bedtime, her legs felt tight. Her feet swelled just enough to make her shoes uncomfortable in the morning. Some nights, the pressure in her calves made it hard to fall asleep. Her doctor ran tests. Everything looked fine. So Margaret blamed age and carried on. Until one afternoon at a local senior wellness class, a nutritionist asked to see a sample of her dinner log. And that's when it hit her. Her frozen dinner had nearly 900 milliliters of sodium. Her vegetable soup, another 700. Her canned fruit, packed in syrup, had preservatives and more sodium. In one meal, just dinner, Margaret was eating over 2,000 milliliters of sodium, the recommended limit for the whole day. Here's what they didn't tell Margaret. After 65, your kidneys don't filter sodium like they used to. Too much salt pulls water into your bloodstream, increases pressure on your blood vessels, and forces your kidneys to work overtime when they're already slowing down. This leads to swelling, to poor sleep, to morning fatigue. Once Margaret saw it clearly, she made gentle changes. She swapped frozen meals for homemade soups with low-sodium broth, traded canned fruit for sliced apples, started reading labels, not just the calories, but the sodium line. 3 weeks later, the swelling in her legs reduced. She woke up feeling lighter. She stopped blaming herself and started feeling in control again. Joe, the beef that stole his sleep. Joe is 72, from Texas, a retired construction worker with strong hands and a love for grilling. For Joe, a good steak wasn't just food, it was comfort. Every night he'd light the grill, season a thick cut of beef, and pair it with mashed potatoes and green beans. He believed in protein. A man's got to eat real food, he'd say. But over time, Joe's mornings changed. His legs felt stiff, his lower back ached. And sometimes, around 4 a.m., he'd wake with a strange pinching pain deep in his calves. His doctor suspected arthritis. The tests came back clean. It wasn't until Joe spoke with a dietitian that the truth came out. Red meat, especially at night, is heavy on the kidneys. It's dense in protein, saturated fat, and compounds like creatine and purines that the kidneys must process. But at night, your body wants to rest. Your kidneys slow down to recover. If you feed them a heavy load at 8 p.m., they can't keep up. Instead of repair, your body stays in digestion mode. Instead of sleep, it stays inflamed. That's what was happening to Joe. He didn't want to give up steak, so he changed the timing. Lunch became his biggest meal. He moved red meat to earlier in the day. At night, he'd have lentil soup, grilled salmon, or a light veggie stir-fry. Within weeks, the morning stiffness faded. His energy improved. And the midnight pinching pain? Gone. Joe still grills, but now he lets his body rest when it's supposed to. Carol, the sauce that burned her legs. Carol is 70, a retired bookkeeper from Georgia. Soft-spoken, practical, always watching her sugar intake. She rarely ate desserts, never touched soda, cooked most meals at home, but she loved flavor. She'd drizzle barbecue sauce on grilled chicken, add ketchup to her roasted potatoes, toss her salad with a light honey mustard dressing. Then the burning started. a strange warmth in her legs at night, tingling in her feet, a creeping discomfort that made rest elusive. She worried it was nerve damage. Her doctor checked her blood sugar, normal. No signs of diabetes or circulation issues. Then she met with a nutritionist, and they looked at her condiments. Each tablespoon of sauce, barbecue, ketchup, even her heart-healthy dressing was full of high fructose corn syrup and sodium. Every drop was a double assault, sugar spiking her blood, salt swelling her vessels. Tiny blood vessels in her legs and kidneys grew inflamed. Circulation dropped. Pain rose. Carol felt betrayed. "How can they label this healthy?" she asked. But she didn't give up. She started making her own dressings. Olive oil, vinegar, garlic, lemon. Used plain mustard with no added sugar. Swapped ketchup for tomato puree with herbs. Within 2 weeks, the burning eased. Her legs felt lighter, and she finally slept through the night. The common thread. 3 people, 3 different dinners. One simple truth. What we eat at night doesn't just fill our stomachs, it shapes our sleep, our circulation, our kidney health. And most of the damage? It's silent. Until one day, you can't bend your knees without pain, or you wake up 3 times a night to use the bathroom, or your doctor says your kidney numbers are starting to slip. But here's the good news. Just like Margaret, Joe, and Carol, you don't have to overhaul your life. You just need to listen to what your body is telling you. Understand how aging changes digestion and recovery, and make small, loving shifts in your evening meals. Your legs will feel it, your kidneys will thank you, and your mornings might just become your favorite part of the day again. Based on too much sodium in disguise. Most seniors avoid salty chips and fast food, but what they don't realize is that sodium hides in everyday healthy foods, like canned soups, frozen dinners, crackers, or even vegetable juice. Sodium doesn't just make you thirsty. In older adults, it disrupts the delicate fluid balance, causes your body to retain water, and overworks your kidneys. Swelling in the feet? Tightness in the calves at night? That's sodium silently building pressure in your bloodstream. Example: Margaret, 74. You remember Margaret from Indiana. Her light dinner packed over 2,000 milligrams of sodium, more than her kidneys could handle in one sitting. Her swelling and leg pressure disappeared once she switched to low-sodium homemade meals. Quick test. If you're reading a label and it has more than 500 milligrams of sodium per serving, put it back. That's more than 20% of your daily need in just one small item. Red meat. Too late in the day. Protein is vital, but timing matters. Red meat, especially beef and pork, is dense in saturated fats and difficult to process proteins. When you eat steak at 8 p.m., your body is forced to digest through the night when it should be healing. This burdens your kidneys with nitrogen waste, and instead of entering deep sleep, your body stays in processing mode. Example: Joe, 72. Joe's tradition of nightly steak left him waking with stiff legs and aching joints. Once he moved meat to lunch and ate plant-based dinners, the pain eased and his sleep deepened. Pro tip: eat your heavier proteins before 3 p.m. Let dinner be light, so your body can focus on rest, not digestion. Sugary sauces and dressings. Barbecue sauce, teriyaki glaze, ketchup, and even healthy salad dressings can contain shockingly high amounts of high fructose corn syrup and sodium. Sugar causes rapid inflammation in the body, particularly in the tiny blood vessels that feed your legs and kidneys. Example: Carol, 70. Carol avoided desserts but loved her sauces. She didn't realize a few tablespoons of barbecue sauce were enough to spike her blood sugar and inflame her nerves. Her leg burning stopped once she made her own dressings at home. Watch out for ingredients like corn syrup, glucose, maltodextrin, sauces with more than 4g sugar per tablespoon. Heavy dairy at night. Many people turn to cheese or milk as an evening comfort. But dairy, especially full-fat varieties like cheddar, is high in saturated fat and sodium. These substances can narrow arteries, reduce blood flow, and strain your kidneys when eaten at night. Example: Harold, 76. His nightly cheese and cracker habit caused leg numbness and stiffness. Switching to goat cheese and almond milk, plus eating an hour earlier, gave his body more time to rest, and his symptoms faded. Better choices: goat cheese, low-sodium ricotta. Unsweetened plant-based milk. Move dairy snacks to earlier in the evening. Fine, refined carbs before bed. White rice, pasta, white bread. These may be comforting, but they're digested too quickly. This leads to blood sugar spikes, then crashes during sleep. That instability disrupts kidney function and can trigger leg cramps, nerve tingling, or midnight restlessness. Example: Eleanor, 71. She thought her rice and chicken dinner was light, but her sleep was broken by heavy legs and early morning fatigue. After switching to brown rice and whole grains, her nights improved dramatically. Smart swaps: brown rice, quinoa, whole grain toast. Add leafy greens to slow digestion. Alcohol or sugary drinks after dinner. A glass of wine or sweet tea might feel relaxing, but alcohol is a diuretic. It dehydrates the body and overworks the kidneys. Sugary drinks flood your blood with glucose, creating inflammation and kidney strain during sleep. Example: Richard, 75. His nightly red wine and iced sweet tea seemed harmless, but he woke with cramps and kidney pressure. After swapping in herbal tea and infused water, he slept soundly and his pain faded. Kidney-friendly options: herbal teas, chamomile, cinnamon, lemon balm, cucumber or mint-infused water, warm water with a slice of lemon. Final thoughts on these 6 habits. Each of these habits, on its own, may seem small, but together, night after night, they create silent wear and tear on your body. You don't need to eliminate them all at once. Just become aware. Start with one change, then another. Because the difference between waking up in pain and waking up feeling rested often begins with what you ate the night before. Swap sodium bombs for low-sodium homemade dinners. Instead of canned soups and frozen meals, try this. Make a simple vegetable soup once a week using low-sodium broth. Add onions, carrots, leafy greens, and herbs. Store in small containers for easy reheating. Not only does this reduce sodium drastically, but it also gives your kidneys the rest they need to recover overnight. Example: Margaret Fire. Her switch to homemade soup cut her sodium in half, and within weeks, the swelling in her legs went down. Pro tip: add a splash of lemon juice or fresh herbs at the end for flavor, not salt. Eat red meat. Earlier, go light at night. Instead of eating steak or pork at dinner, enjoy them at lunch. Then choose lighter, kidney-friendly proteins for the evening. Try grilled salmon with steamed vegetables. Lentil or chickpea stew, a warm bowl of miso soup with tofu and rice. Example: Joe moving red meat to earlier in the day and switching to plant proteins in the evening helped Joe sleep better and wake without pain. Bonus tip: if you love steak, try cutting the portion in half and pairing it with extra greens. Use homemade sauces and dressings. Store-bought sauces are loaded with sugar and sodium. You can make your own in 5 minutes. Try this base: 2 TBSP olive oil, 1 TBSP apple cider vinegar or lemon juice, a pinch of garlic powder, mustard, or herbs. Example: Carol. She replaced her barbecue sauce with a homemade tomato herb glaze. No more tingling in her legs at night. Flavor tip: fresh basil, rosemary, and dill add a big punch of taste without salt or sugar. Upgrade your dairy snacks. If you enjoy cheese or milk at night, don't stop. Just make smarter swaps and adjust the timing. Try goat cheese or ricotta instead of cheddar. Unsweetened almond or oat milk instead of cow's milk. Eat your dairy snack 1 to 2 hours earlier in the evening. Example: Harold. He moved his snack to 7 p.m. and switched to lighter options. His legs felt less stiff and his mornings were brighter. Calcium bonus: add a handful of almonds or a spoonful of chia seeds for extra joint support. Choose whole grains with leafy greens. Refined carbs spike blood sugar and cause nighttime crashes. Instead, try brown rice, quinoa, or barley, sprouted whole grain toast. Add spinach, kale, or arugula to your plate to slow digestion. Example, Eleanor. She added a small salad to dinner and swapped white rice for quinoa. Her leg heaviness disappeared in 10 days. Meal idea: grilled veggies, plus half-cup quinoa, plus lemon tahini dressing. Easy, kidney-loving meal. Drink smarter after dinner. The drinks you sip in the evening set the tone for your sleep. Try. Instead of wine or sweet tea, herbal tea, chamomile, cinnamon, ginger, infused water, cucumber, plus lemon, mint plus lime, warm almond milk with a dash of turmeric. Example, Richard. He replaced red wine with cinnamon tea and finally slept through the night without cramps. Hydration tip: drink your last glass at least 1 hour before bed to reduce overnight trips to the bathroom. Little shifts, big relief. These swaps don't take away comfort. They give you back control. Because every meal you eat after 65 is a message to your body. I care about you. I want you to rest. I want you to feel good tomorrow. And when your legs feel lighter, when your kidneys sigh with relief, when your sleep is deep and your mornings pain-free, you'll know these changes were worth it. Let's take a deep breath together and take a moment to let all of this sink in. Over the last few minutes, you've learned something that most doctors don't explain. You've seen how a swollen leg, a restless night, or an aching foot might not be aging. It might just be dinner. You now know that. Sodium hides in the most innocent foods. Red meat at night overworks your kidneys. Sugary sauces inflame your nerves. Dairy and white carbs quietly disrupt your rest, and even your evening drink may be keeping you up. But here's the good news. None of this is permanent. Every one of these habits can be changed, gently, lovingly, and at your own pace. You don't need to throw everything out of your fridge. You don't need to live without flavor or joy. You just need to start with awareness. One small swap, one earlier dinner, one better drink before bed. That's it. Because change doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It just has to begin. When Margaret replaced her soup, her legs stopped swelling. When Joe moved his steak to lunch, he slept like he used to. When Carol made her own sauces, the burning in her feet disappeared. These weren't diets. They weren't sacrifices. They were shifts. Little acts of self-care that told their bodies, you deserve peace, and you do too. So if you're watching this now, if any part of this video made you pause and think, that sounds like me, then this is your moment. Type, I'm ready, in the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're listening to your body. And if you think someone you love, your spouse, your neighbor, your sister, might be eating themselves into quiet kidney trouble without knowing, please send this video to them, because we're not just trying to live long. We want to live well. Pain-free mornings, deep, peaceful sleep. The joy of walking without pressure in your legs. That's not too much to ask. That's your right. And you're not too old. You're not too late. You're just one small change away. So here's my invitation. Tonight, before you eat, pause. Ask yourself, will this meal help my body rest? And if the answer is yes, enjoy every bite. And if the answer is no, make a little shift. Your legs will feel it. Your kidneys will thank you, and your future self. They'll smile back at you in the mirror, because you chose to care. You chose to listen, and you chose hope. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm honored to be part of your journey. Stay well, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next chapter.